Hi, my name is Greg Maxwell with Amicus Settlement Planners. We get asked often, what does it mean when you say settlement planning? And really, settlement planning comes down to allocating a plaintiff's settlement into essentially 4 different buckets. And so how much are we going to put in each bucket based on this client's particular situation? So the 4 buckets that generally we talk about are in order of most liquid to most restrictive. Is cash being the most flexible and liquid. Of course, cash is great. You can buy homes with it, you can buy cars with it, you can do whatever you want with it. But you can also dissipate it really quickly. So it's great and it's also not great in certain situations. So there's the cash bucket, and then moving one notch a little bit more restricted but still fairly flexible is what we call the investment account bucket. So that's just an account at Charles Schwab or TD Ameritrade where it's invested and growing. You still have access to it pretty quickly if you need it, but there is an advisor that's working with you or working with your client so that if they want to go make an unwise decision, they would have to call their financial advisor first, and hopefully their financial advisor can give them some advice and keep them from doing something unwise, but it's still fairly flexible and liquid. And the client still has total control over that bucket. Moving one more bucket to the right, I guess, in terms of less liquid and more restrictive is what we call a settlement trust. And inside a settlement trust, the money is still invested and is fairly liquid, but there's a trustee that essentially has the keys to the car and can decide what funds in the trust are used for and what they're not used for. So that puts a little, makes it harder for the claimant or the plaintiff to use money unwisely if the trustee doesn't allow it. So we really like settlement trusts for that. It's a good balance most of the time between flexibility and liquidity and some dissipation protection. And then the final bucket is the structured settlement or annuity bucket. In that bucket, things are really restrictive. Once you decide how much you're going to put into an annuity, it's really hard to take it out in most situations, but it's also very safe, it's very guaranteed, and so it's very hard to dissipate those funds, especially if set up properly. You can prevent clients from factoring those annuity payments if done right. So essentially you've got 4 different buckets, and that's what settlement planning is allocating that client's resources amongst a couple of those buckets, 3 of those buckets, or sometimes all 4 of those buckets if it's a really catastrophic larger case. So you've got cash, you've got an investment account, you've got a trust account, and you've got annuities. And so, based on the facts of the case, based on your client's needs, you've got those buckets, and then you've got, obviously the cash is used to purchase homes and vans and things that they might need immediately. So our role as settlement planners is to help your client think through all of those issues and allocate their settlement amongst those 4 different buckets. So give us a call. We'd love to chat with you about it. And if you've got a case where we can help allocate or help the plaintiff think through some of those things, we'd love to help.